Hi, this is Roger. Thanks for dropping by. I'll just pick up on any dramatic changes or any blooms that have opened as I'm going round. It's watering day today and again tomorrow. I don't do it all in one day. So this Nobly Hybrids just opened on this cane, and hotly pursued by this little bunch up here. I actually quite like these before they open because you get a better look at the pink tinges, because a lot of the pink is actually on the back as well as on the front, but just before they open they look like little rosebuds. They're really attractive, and then when they actually open the pink is less obvious. Yeah, it almost seems to fade away, and you get the lovely sort of greeny yellow in the middle and the nice white. Yeah, I like this one. The plant needs a good tidy up. When I got it, somebody else had decided to chop some of the canes, and instead of taking them off at the base, they sort of just chopped them, and it makes the plant look untidy. It's also got some exhausted canes as well, so we'll wait for the new growths to push on, and once they've got leaves they can photosynthesize themselves and help add to the plant's strength and energy, and some of these old exhausted canes can come off then. And then, you know, with some help of some scaffolding, shall we say, we can train the new canes up nice and upright and keep the plant in an upright shape instead of a spready out shape that just takes up a lot of room. So anyway, an attractive Nobly Hybrid. I like this one. No scent as far as I know, no fragrance. If it is, it's incredibly faint anyway, and it has competition. So yeah, so that's one. These are the kikis that I broke off of Stardust Firebird before I threw it away in disgust. The most tatty, useless plant I think I've ever owned. Well, in the dendrobium world anyway. But it's the kikis are sprouting forth. That's all I'm going to say with this thing, because this is so prone to kikis. The kikis are probably just going to grow more kikis just to annoy me. But you never know, they might be spikes, I suppose. Let's give it a chance. But the blooms are worth having, but in my book the plant wasn't. So the plant had to go, but I thought, well, we'll give some kikis a chance. And maybe with a different bit of culture, we can actually get it to grow from the base instead of chucking out kikis left, right and centre. So it's on borrowed time. It depends what these shoots are, really. You can see the hedge through there, you listening. Just have a last look at berry odour, because that's off to the sales table tonight, along with its other third, I'll call it. I was going to call it its other half, but other third. So, yep, bye-bye to that one. This one is staying at the moment. It's got quite a few spikes on, and it's a hell of a plant. Even though I don't particularly like the flowers, they are very slightly fragrant, but not massively. Just as I'm going through the cattleyas, I think we're going to get quite a show on this one. I mean, I can see 6 buds on that spike. There's 4 there, I believe. 6 on that one. 3 on that one. And looks like 5, maybe 6 on that one. Well, they're all going to come out roughly together. I think that's going to be quite a show. And talking of shows, if you can get your flipping act together, mate, our show's at the end of next month. Well, come on, clock's ticking. Get a move on. I can't actually put that on the competition bench because our rules state that you have to have owned a plant for a year before you're allowed to put it in the competition, and that's to stop people just buying in good plants that are already in bloom and putting them in the competition. You know, it's not a level playing field if you allow that sort of thing. So we have a rule that you have to have owned the plant for 12 months. It's not strictly enforced, it's down to trust. And I think most people just agree that it's fair, that after a year, any blooms that you get on a plant are your own work. You've had to look after that plant, keep it going, you know, make it thrive and get some bloom spikes. So it's all your own work, if you know what I mean. But I tell you what, starting off with a really good plant don't half help. Anyway, that's that Cattleya. I think that's going to be quite a show. Bright orange blooms. It's all in the name, you know. Young Min Orange, it's called. It's my Chantel Cattleya. A memory of a lovely lady who sold orchids in this country for donkey's years and now doesn't anymore, is out in sunnier climes in Australia. She'll be missed. RHS show coming up soon. She's like a star performer at that show, just the way she sells her plants and chats to everybody. She'll be missed. It's a shame really, but yeah, sunnier climes and all that. And these Cattleya buds are going to be opening in the not too distant future. And the other new growth, the sheath on that is, the buds are swelling quite nicely in that one too, so they'll follow on behind. That's a nice big blousy one, that one. I can't remember whether it's fragrant or not. It was one of those in bloom when I got it, like the blooms, looked like quite a good plant, so you know, wasn't ridiculously expensive, so I thought we'll add that one in. So no ID, but quite honestly that doesn't matter that much to me. I don't show very often, and it's a Cattleya. That'll do for me. Okay, not a huge amount of changes to actually go over this time. The citrata, I'll get there in a minute. God, total brain block then. This flower spike was only had a couple of blooms on anyway, and this one, they are starting to go over now, and basically I want that on a mount. So I think in the very near future I'm going to sacrifice what's left on those spikes and actually get that plant out of that pot and get it mounted like the others. Yeah, they seem to do well like that, so I see no reason why that one won't. But yeah, I mean, this Tolumnia is probably the next thing that'll be in the changes box, I suppose. I mean, this colour just starting to form on those buds, so possibly, I don't know, week, maybe two, but you know, coming soon. There's another couple of Tolumnia spikes coming along as well, so we'll see how we go. So just a quick one this time. As I say, not much is changing this time of year, but what is going to change is the day lengths. Whereas we got down to less than 8 hours a day, which is pretty pitiful really, that's what we're having to struggle with. But it's now heading up back to 9. And then during February it'll get back up to 11, the magic number. But the other thing I wouldn't mind saying is that there's an awful lot of plants are classed as keep shaded, shade loving, yeah, things like Phalaenopsis, shade loving plants. And yet if you've got a good strong healthy plant and it won't bloom, the first thing everybody will tell you is more light, it needs more light. Well, which? Yeah, let's get our act together here. And what I think it is a lot of the older writings, I'll call them, the older views, are that you've got some that can take really bright light, like the Vandas. You know, I mean, if acclimatised, they can even take literally full sun. But then have a look at where they're growing. If you're growing a Vanda that gets some sun during the day in Florida, this is intense light. The light on a bright summer's day in the UK cannot compete with that level of light, ever. It's just never going to get there. The sun's lower in the sky relative to, you know, the equator and all that stuff. Go back to your school days. But you know what I mean. And the lower the sun is in the sky, the more pollution and muck it's got to get through before it arrives at your plants. You know, and then it's got to go through your shade netting or your roofing or whatever. So the quality of the light I can get in the UK will never be as good as other parts of the world. Even on the brightest summer day, it's not as good. The only thing we do get, which is not a bonus because it can be detrimental to your plants, is come the midsummer, we get 14, 15 hour day lengths, and that pushes the plants beyond what some of them are capable of doing unless they're kept well hydrated and their leaves don't get hot. Yeah, so as long as you can do that, you can take advantage of that light and grow them on. But yeah, our light quality this time of year is poor, even in bright sunshine. So when somebody says you've got a shade-loving plant, I'd take it with a pinch of salt, quite honestly, in climates like the UK and similar, because our light quality is short-lived and poor. So what you might need shade for in somewhere like Florida, Northern Australia, you probably don't need to shade them that much in the UK. So if your plant won't bloom, the simple answer is try more light. But don't take it from deep shade and put it in brilliant sunshine, will you? Because you'll roast it. You know, you will actually burn the leaves. Do everything gently. If you're going to change an orchid's position, do it gently. And see how you get on. I mean, most of my Phalaenopsis are now living in a place where they're going to get what I would consider to be pretty damn bright light. They're up with the Oncidiums. But this time of year, that's not that bright. So maybe that's just all that's needed a lot of the time, is places like the UK and similar follow a line through the UK right round the top of the globe, and then, you know, and the bottom of the globe, I suppose, mustn't forget them, and have a look. You know, short day lengths, many days with no sunshine at all. This is poor light. It's poor quality light. So you've got to take advantage of as much light as you can get this time of year. So have a think about your light. And I suppose we'd better say bye-bye to these two, because they're not going to be around for too much longer. This one, this is a Mordier. This one double spiked this year, so I had two out together. But one's just gone, and the other one opened about 2 weeks or so afterwards. But I took them indoors, and that reduces their lifespan because of the drier air and warmer temperatures, so they don't last as long. And this one is just starting to go. You can see those petals. That's probably got, in fact, that'll probably be on the floor tomorrow, come to think of it. And then I've got to try and grow a new growth and wait another fucking knows how long before it blooms again. Mr. Slow. Anyway, that's it for this time, and those two are off to the sales room, two Berryodas, and nothing else is going this time, because other plants that I want to sell, I want in a better state. So it's our show in February, so there's no meeting. Come March, you know, the end of March, I will have some others to sell and clear some more space out. And in between, oh no, it's after March. After March is the RHS show, so I clear all this space out and then promptly fill it up again, I expect. You know me. But I'm trying to stick to my list now, despite certain interruptions and loading me up with plants. Yeah, I'm trying to stick to the list. So when I go to the RHS show, things can still catch my eye, yes, especially if I see a really good, strong, healthy plant of a type. Even if it's a type I've got, but mine isn't doing so well, it becomes a replacement. But I'll take my list with me and see what I can find. Okay, thanks for dropping by. See you next time. Oh, what I might do is our meeting tonight. I've never filmed our show table. The problem is our meeting is in the evening. It's dark. Yeah, the curtains are drawn and the only light I've got is the old electric lights. But I'm going to try filming because I think this camera is clever enough to know what sort of light it's got and adjust the colour temperatures on the film. But all I can do is try. So I'll take the camera along, do some filming, get it home and see what I can make of it. And if it's worthwhile, then I can post that. And that'll be sometime tomorrow, I expect. Okay, see you again then. Thanks for dropping by.